this is going to be really interesting, Dave, because it feels like just as the Clippers were starting to get comfortable in their roles, all these vets were kind of figuring out their way. Now all of a sudden, here we are. It looks like we're going to start over again for the LA Clippers because we don't know if Kawhi Leonard, how long it's going to take him to get back into playing shape. When he played in 2 of the first 3 games, he played 21 minutes off the bench. That off the bench was a big factor for them because Marcus Morris Sr. said, I've never, ever seen or been on a team where the best player didn't come in until 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. So if they decide to go that route or they decide to start him, there still is going to be an adjustment period for them because guys are going to have to sacrifice more. I talked to Nick Batum and Paul George the last couple of days about this, like when Kawhi comes back. And Paul looked at it like, look, we're getting our best player back. We're getting one of the top players back in the NBA. That's a good thing. And guys will just adjust around it. And Nick Batum said the same thing. But this is going to be like Ty Lue has kind of cautioned us. It's going to be a minute before we see them kind of back to full strength and see what they can do. And they were just starting to get comfortable. I get it. They lost in Dallas the other night on an unbelievable Luka Doncic shot. But with Kawhi Leonard back in the mix, it's going to take a minute to kind of guys to get used to their roles again and see how it goes. So I'm glad that he's coming back, though, because we're now at almost the end of November. I don't know, maybe this might take 2-3 weeks in December to really start to get comfortable again with Kawhi in the mix, if he can stay in the mix. Because the other thing, too, is we also have to see how that knee is going to respond. And I think this is a good time when they bring him back, because I think the next 5 or 6 games with the Clippers, they actually have 1 day off in between. Dave, they've already played, I think, 3 or 4 back-to-backs. Their schedule has been absolutely
going to be sitting some of those
jam-packed.
games anyway, right? That's a good time to take some time to rest. Absolutely.
Yeah. So at least in this case, he'll have, a day in between to recover in between games. And so, we'll see how they look, but I'm really curious to see, hopefully he's kind of cleared. He's been off now for 12 games. Hopefully that will kind of get him past whatever issue he had when he had stiffness in his knee.
So, considering the way the season has started for Kawhi, we've only seen a small glimpse. What is the reasonable expectation on the positive end and the negative end? Like, at what point do we say he may only be playing 30 games and averaging 12, 5 and 5? Or do we say there is a realistic pathway for him to play 60 or so games and put up 25, 7 and 7?
I don't think we'll see 25, 7 and 7 for a minute. I think, as I asked him when he was coming off the bench, I said, how long are you going to come off the bench for? And he said, until I get my minutes up to about 35 minutes a game. At that point, he was only averaging 21 minutes a game. So, and I think he was averaging like something around 12 points and about 5.5 rebounds or something like that. So, and obviously the limited minutes, if he's going to play 21 minutes a game, we're not going to see 25, 7 and 7 until he gets up into the 35-minute range, which I would think probably could take him, I don't know, 3 weeks to a month to get to that point if he's playing in every game. And he's not going to play in every game because Clippers have more back-to-backs. Their schedule, like you were talking about the Lakers schedule, I mean, their schedule's jam-packed all the way until the All-Star break. And then they only have 21 games remaining after the All-Star break. And that's going to be another test for them, because now you want to still get Kawhi on court time, but you're not going to get as much in games. I mean, if they have 21 games left at the All-Star break, and let's just say in April, they're going to want to make sure these guys are all ready for the playoffs, you're not going to see as many guys playing at the end. So I think that a lot of this is going to come in practice time. So right now you want to see Kawhi Leonard build up in these games, but also make it out of these games feeling all right.
Poor Pistons, man. Poor Pistons. Back to back.
Yeah.
And they only get Thursday and Friday night, man. Like, at least the Nets got the weekend for their back-to-back, but poor Pistons.
LA nightlife, Dave, it doesn't matter what day it is, or the weekends or the weekdays.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.